Hello everyone, this is Trish and welcome back to WoT Blitz School. Today we have a really nice lesson, and I think it's more of a... I don't want to spoil it, so you'll see. And I had to actually record this video on Tuesday because, as you know, the 7.1 is coming, and obviously when you watch this video it's already here. But when new updates come in, the old replays become, well, they don't work anymore. So yeah, I have to kind of record this before time. And well, without anything else to say, well, thanks everyone for your support. Remember to send your replays, your 7.1 replays on the Discord. And without anything else to say, let us go and start with today's lesson. Okay, so let us begin with the KB1 Warrior, obviously because of the legendary camouflage, Nightfall Opa. Thanks for sending this replay. And this tank is just... It used to be extremely broken at tier 5. Nowadays they kinda nerfed it, and but in my opinion it's still really good. Obviously we have tanks like the T1 Heavy or the BDR. Actually we are fighting against a BDR. Those tanks got buffed. They got really buffed and they are really strong right now. But we still have like a really good tank on the KB1, and I just really like it. It's a tank that just been around for a while, and it's just a classic. In my opinion, it's just a classic. It's one of those tanks that you used to play to really get good and to really learn how to side scrape, for example. And yeah, we're gonna be watching Nightfall Opa. In my personal opinion, Nightfall Opa, you already took a little bit too long to go around. I would have gone in a more straight line. But here we are. Another little thing, Nightfall Opa, you should be carrying a little bit more of premium ammunition and some high explosive as well. 5 shots, it could be enough, but like I said, the T1 Heavy, the BDR are really strong tanks nowadays, and there's a chance you are gonna be needing some premium for those tanks. So yeah, I highly recommend, I highly advise that you get it. As you can see, yeah, the BDR having a really strong... that's a really big mistake, Nightfall Opa. You're completely... Like, you watched the BDR, and the BDR just decided to push, but you were not watching anymore, and you were not aware enough. So that's a little bit of a poor map awareness. And there you are watching the Leo. You could have gone through that plate with APCR, with premium ammo, and you let him escape. So that's another mistake. Again, you are just sitting ducks in the middle of well, of this area. For some reason you are just watching at the Wolverine there. You managed to pen. And the Wolverine is just still shooting. The BDR is not aiming at you. I think he has the stock gun, so that's a really big plus. But in my opinion, you're playing way too passive. You should already be doing this. Be pushing. You're pretty much the heaviest tank on your team. Not pretty much, you're the heaviest tank, because the B1 is not exactly a heavy tank. It's a really bad tank, in fact. So yeah, that's a nice shot on the move. In my opinion, you aimed it a little bit on the back. I would have aimed at the center mass. That's just more reliable. And here you're turning your turret around. Again, another mistake. Don't turn your turret around to watch the enemy. You have to watch your enemy without needing to turn your turret around. And there we go. The BDR is luckily stuck or something, because he's not able to go through you, and his turret is pretty weak. So I think he's on a stuck tank or something. But yeah, so far you have been making like new player mistakes, but other than that you are doing okay. Here you decide to push. The back is locked pretty much, so you kind of depend on your two teammates on your back to, well, not get flanked, which is what's happening right now. There you should have repaired that probably, or actually never mind, because the Panzer IV decided to face hug you, which is a really bad play from him. And there you go, that's an easy kill. You still have a lot to go, but the KB1 is also pretty much on your same HP. You aim at the Leo one, that's a really good choice, because yeah, if you... There you're taking a little bit too long, and you managed to pin that high explosive round. But that was a little bit risky in my opinion. That didn't look like an easy pen, and that didn't look like you aimed it right. So I think you got a little bit lucky there. But of course, luck is also important. That's a nice shot on the KB1 on the enemy team. You're angling your armor correctly. Now you're over-angling. But I don't know what he's doing. He probably disconnected or something. There again, you shot after, like, you were aiming and then you decided to stop aiming and then shoot, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, you should stop aiming after you shot. So that doesn't make a lot of sense. Still, it went in because it was a pretty easy shot. And now you should push the Matilda. The Matilda has a really small gun. It has enough penetration to go through you, but right now you should just be aiming for your next shot. And you decide to just auto-aim it, which is risky, but you are on a tier 5 tank. So that was a good game. Nightfall, a lot of mistakes in my opinion. It went really good for you because you were facing other new players. I can tell you are not a veteran player or something like that. That was a Kolovanov, by the way, so that's pretty good. And Radley Walters. But in my opinion, I think you made a lot of mistakes there that could really cost you a lot if the enemy actually profited on them. And by that I mean, if you are like gonna be playing on upper tiers, there's gonna be more experienced players on the upper tiers and they are gonna profit on your mistakes and you are gonna be struggling if you make mistakes like that. So yeah, like remember, this is just so you kinda improve. This is constructive criticism. So yeah, take it easy. And other than that, it was a good game. You had a really good tank and you were able to just pretty much push the enemy team. And yeah, that was a real good game. Congratulations, Nightfall. Let us continue with the next lesson. So today we are gonna be watching the T57 from Pacifier. And Pacifier, I know he's like one of my subscribers from the Spanish channel and everything, so thank you, Pacifier, for sending this. And he's gonna be playing the T57, guys. The T57 is, in my opinion, it's not the best of the two heavy autoloaders at tier 10. In my opinion, the AMX-50B is better because you have more speed and therefore you have more flexibility. And flexibility is something that an experienced player will exploit. So, in my opinion, this is a little bit worse, but it's not a bad tank by any means. It's actually a really good tank if you know how to play an autoloader. Playing an autoloader is doing what Pacifier is not doing here, which is just going YOLO into the enemy position. There, I think that wasn't necessary, Pacifier. You should have gone a little bit up, and you had shots with just AP, and you could have gone for the tracks without risking too much of your tank. So, in my opinion, that was a little bit of a poor choice. And now, this is really good map awareness. You realize your T-54 is dead on this side, and they are gonna be pushing. So you're gonna be the one stopping them from pushing, which is not a bad idea. That's a couple of really good shots. He manages to bounce up your upper plate, so that was a really good angle. And now you have to reload because yeah. And your team is already 3 tanks down. It's only been a minute and a half and you're already with 3 tanks gone. Luckily the enemy team loses another tank. Well, their first tank. So it's not too bad for you. Here I think this could be a mistake. The IS-7 is just waiting for you to make this mistake to shoot you. Obviously you're trading an IS-7 shot for the Guerrilla 15. So the Guerrilla 15 is gone because you traded that shot. I think that wasn't a mistake. I think you decided to invest your hit points there. But I think you should have stayed behind the house there. Now you're taking cover behind the your teammate. But again, I think you should have gone for... You should have stayed just behind the house. That was an unlucky shot, an unlucky bounce, but there you managed to get the kill. But now you're only at 2B4. So yeah, your team just completely melted away. And the IS-7 is being toxic, you know, the typical... The typical guy that doesn't know how to play, so he becomes toxic. And there, I don't know why you aimed at the turret there. You should have gone for the whole shot there. And that's a nice shot from your teammate. And now you have to reload. Your teammate is hiding behind the Guerrilla 15. He's doing a great job, but he's already pretty much done. He only has 407. So you have to reload. You have to kind of, well, take cover here. what you have to do right now is pretty much start clearing tanks. So I would go for the T-62 because he's a major risk, and then for the T-57 that was a really good target choice. But now your FV-215B is down. So here all you have to do is pretty much wait a little bit for your reload, take cover behind the FV-215B that was your teammate, take care of the... I would actually go here. I don't know where that shot went, but I would actually go. Now you cannot go for the WT, but now you have to, well, you have to clear that tank and start reloading. Buy as much time as you can. You have 882 HP, so you can take 2 shots from the WT. And the WT is just trying to aim at you. You're trying your best to take cover. And all you have to do right now... Okay, he managed to pen that. You have to push right now. You have to pretty much clear him. And yeah, let us hope... You don't have to use high explosive here. Okay, that's a good penetration. That's another good penetration. Here you just have to... Oh, hold on. You actually made a freaking huge mistake here. You were loading high explosive. You didn't need to load high explosive there. You just needed AP, 3 shots. You also needed 3 shots from high explosive. And you actually ran out of ammo. So you had to reload. So that was a really poor awareness of how much ammunition you had left. To be honest, it's not so easy to, you know, take that into account when you're in the, you know, in the heat of battle. But right now you're allowing the Waffle to just pretty much go around or something. He could flank you, he could go to the hill, and there he is. He actually makes a big mistake. And why didn't you aim at the turret? He was just waiting there, and you decided to wait for him to go out when he just needed to high explosive you on the turret, and that's what happened. I think you got unlucky on the fact that you were loading high explosive. And you also got unlucky on the fact that he managed to pen your turret with heat, and he actually rolled pretty high, so then the high explosive killed you pretty easily. But in my opinion, you should have gone just with AP. You have to learn to count when you're playing an auto-loading. And I said it as we were watching the replay. You don't need high explosive, you just need to go in there, take 3 shots, AP. If the first 2 shots of AP low roll a lot, then you go for the high explosive to make sure that you kill the tank. But you actually just dropped that game. That was a 6,200 game that you had the upper hand. And unluckily for you, yeah, that's a really big heartbreak. So guys, remember, check your ammunition. Remember to calculate how much HP the enemy has, so you know what to use. For example, there the Waffle had 1,90 something HP. So the high explosive from this tank can kill it in 2 shots if you're really lucky, but you can kill it in 3 shots from AP like 100%. And if you actually like miss one of the high explosive shots, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble, because then you cannot finish the tank that easily. So in my opinion, this was a little bit of a mistake. A really good game. The team was just completely trash, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, that was a really big heartbreak, pacifier, and yeah, there's really nothing else to say. So now we are gonna be watching Fallen Angel. Actually, the one that uploaded this replay is WoW, he's already been featured on the channel with a T-62A actually, and a really big game. But we're gonna be watching this from Fallen Angel. I think it's his friend. I'm not completely sure about that. But yeah, T-62A, great DPM, low caliber, so low alpha, amazing turret, nice depression since it got buffed, and pretty poor hull armor. So he's waiting here, but in my opinion, this is not the best place to wait for, because they could be going around here without you noticing if they are a low profile tank. But again, they only have one medium tank, who is a Leo one, so you could probably beat him in a fair fight. And right here, I would start just going for... by the way, guys, do not use a high explosive on the FV2 4005 if they have the Spall liner, if you have like a low caliber gun, because you could get unlucky and pretty much miss the shot and not even do more damage because of the, you know, the Spall liner and So yeah, in my opinion, it's not completely worth it. There we got a couple of really good rolls, so that was a good one. Here now we're gonna be watching this pretty much this farm. The T62A has an amazing gun, so farming with this tank is easy. That was a pretty bad shot. He was gonna be going for the side there. There's the Leo one. You should go for the FE 4005 actually on the back instead of the Leo one. And again, you should be going for the 2005. The 4005 would be dead by now if you decided to go after him. And the Leo has an E100 in front of him, so yeah, you're not even gonna get the kill. So there, try to focus on the low HP targets, because now the 4005 can actually start destroying your team. That shot went, I don't know where, to be completely fair. And right now, yeah, this is the tough one. Your team is completely melting. You're already at a lot of damage. But yeah, you haven't used adrenaline. Adrenaline is really useful when you're farming, and here you were actually farming the whole game, and you were not even using adrenaline. So that's a really big mistake. Why are you carrying adrenaline if you're not gonna use it? Especially when you can use it, like those situations. You could probably have finished the FE 4005 if you were paying attention, done some extra shots on the E100. Yeah, in my opinion, a little bit of a mistake there. You were farming, like you didn't have to move. You were actually doing what I think was not a bad idea, just farming, but your team just completely melted on that side, and it wasn't even like an unfair fight. Your team just completely melted. So that's really a really good play against the chieftain, hiding your hole, making sure he cannot pen you, and you completely destroy him without any issues. Now you're gonna be running to the side, which is not a bad idea. You're unspotted, but let's see what you do. Let's see what you do here. You're already at 5,000 damage. You're gonna be pushing below, and the 183 is actually, yeah, he's gonna be able to spot you. That's not far enough. And yeah, this is a tough one. You already got rid of one of their tanks. Now you have to get rid of the FE 4005, and that's a little bit of lag, guys. So yeah, they're nice shots. The FE 4005 makes a mistake there trying to get you, but now the A100 is coming after you, and what is the A100 doing? Again, you're having a little bit of lag spikes here. I think it's just that the replay is not doing great. The E100 actually bluffs his shot, and here you have to, yeah, you have to focus on one target. You have to get rid of one target. The FE4 183 cannot get his gun down, so I wouldn't be worrying too much about him until he goes down. But there you actually decide to keep shooting at him. The A100 actually bounces again with heat, and here that's a nice farm on the 183. And yeah, this is what you have to do. You have to isolate them, make this a 1v1 instead of 1v2. And the E100 cannot even shoot you on that position if... I believe he cannot shoot you in that position. He's gonna be pushing now. It looks like it, at least. You're aiming for the tracks, which is a really good idea. He's actually angling pretty well. And there we go, he manages to penetrate you with AP. So that's a really big shot. And we can see here how poor the penetration on the T62A is. There, some really good shots on the A100. I think you shouldn't have risked that. You just lost a lot of HP. He got really lucky on both rolls. But yeah, now, well, what's gonna happen? You have to track that 183, which you do, and he actually bounces off you. But yeah, you're in a lot of trouble. And now, if you actually manage to pen some of the shots with adrenaline and whatnot before, the 100 would have less HP, and you would be in a better situation. And here you have to, yeah, you had to pretty much hope that the 183 wasn't loaded, but I was pretty sure he was loaded. In my opinion, yes, your team melted, but you made enough mistakes to actually lose that game. If you were farming more efficiently, it would have been better for you. You allowed the 4005 to pretty much go in and probably destroy your team. He did 2400 damage. You probably allowed him to have that damage by not killing him. And the Leo 1, he was gonna be fighting the 100 in front of you, so you could have gone against him. A lot of missed shots. I didn't really like how you played that last part. You were just, instead of getting distance because you had the fast tank, when the E100 was coming down and the 183 was coming down, you should have run and allowed them to, you know, try to chase you, but you have better mobility, you have better gun at long ranges. So yeah, I think that was a really big mistake on your behalf. Other than that, this is a terrible heartbreak. I don't seen a lot of 8000 damage heartbreaks, but yeah, this was one of them. Obviously you were on the farming position, so that's good for you, but just, yeah, a little bit, use your adrenaline, dude. You're taking it with you for a reason. If you use your adrenaline, if you focus on low HP targets, you could have won this game. And that's really sad because you already did 8000 damage and you couldn't win it. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you had a really good time. This was more of a, you know, trying to really point out the mistakes of these heartbreaks and obviously of a new player on the KB1. But yeah, send your replays. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This was just painful to see. That heartbreak is just, yeah, really bad. But yeah, guys, have a wonderful day. Thank you for sending your replays, and I'll see you on the next lesson. See you guys. This was, by the way, Papa Wednesday on Tuesday. Weird, right?